welcome back to the channel. Some of you might recognize the gloves. I also use them when I'm driving the Husky, the Northern 901, but this time I'm gonna use them for driving this Challenger RT 5.7 liters V8, let's say muscle car. And I've been driving it for a few days now, and I thought to do a little review on it, because for American viewers this is probably like the smallest V8 a Challenger can buy, but in Europe this is quite the exotic car, because you see less of these cars on the road than a Lamborghini, Ferrari or any other exotic car. Maybe a few hundred a year come to Europe, and from Ferraris and whatnot a few thousand go on the road every year. So this is quite exotic here, quite unique, and I will give a little review of it. It's a nice car. The 5.7 liters, the same engine as the Ram 1500, built by Hemi, and this car is actually quite fun to drive, I must say, for a lowest V8 possibility in a Challenger or in a Dodge. So it is 375 horsepower, goes 0 to 100 in 5.3 seconds theoretically. The road is quite wet here and there, and as many, I would say, I presume many Dodge owners know that these cars have not the best grip in wet conditions, but although it drives actually pretty well. And of course, when you take off the traction control, it's a fun car to put around the corner, and a V8 sounds always good. So first things first, we're gonna go a little autobahn, because I go to one of my favorite spots to film. Also did it with the Northern, also did it with the CBR, and also did it with the Durango Hellcat, the Walchensee. So it's not particularly fast. I've driven Hellcats, I've driven Challenger Hellcat, Charger Hellcat, Scatbacks and other cars. This is a slim body, but all in all, it's a really fun car to drive. Top speed is around 250 kilometers an hour. I pushed it up to now to 247. It kind of stops there, I would say. But yeah, it's really a fun car to drive. Okay. This car makes a lot of noise, but I don't see a lot of acceleration. That's fun actually. It's making a lot of noise. I don't know if it's high RPMs, I don't know if there's just no catalyst anymore, but good job, bro. So yeah, as I said, this car is pretty fun. I've driven a lot of these muscle cars, and it's fun. It's when you drive European cars with high power, there are so many electronic systems to keep the car steady. And what I like about American cars, you still have to use your driving skills to keep them fast on the road, to say like this, or to drive them as they're meant to be. Of course, there are cars basically meant for the drag strip, and European cars are more for the corners and curvy roads. But actually this is fun, because basically it's a chassis, it's a heavy car, it's a chassis with an engine, and that makes it a little bit unpredictable, especially in wet conditions. But it gives you also the fun to drift, to slide, to do some burnouts, etc, etc. Like, it's not really possible with European cars. By the way, this section of the autobahn is unlimited, so I can go as fast as I want. And I'm almost at the top speed now of the car. But also the handling, it's quite okay. It's quite stable, it's steady, and there's nothing scary about driving this car on high speed. So there's not a lot of horsepower, 375. This car is staying on the lane, which is good. 375, so above 200 is where you let's say 150 to 200 kilometers an hour, or 100 miles per hour, you really feel the difference between the Scat-Pack, Hellcat and other muscle cars. This car is now going 246, which is kind of its top speed. They say theoretically 250. So it only has 375 horsepower and I think 400 Newton meters. It says 410 foot-pound torque in the specifications, but it still goes fun and still let the car slide. It still does everything an American V8 muscle car should do, and it's kind of affordable. I mean, for this particular car I would pay in Germany I think around 70,000, something like this, and that's still very acceptable. There's not a lot of cars you can buy that do this much fun or go sideways like this, and that's fun. So from that point of view, I would recommend this over an RS3 or an S4 or something in the price range of this car. It goes easily sideways, but it doesn't keep the, let's say, the drift easily, because there's not enough power to keep the weight going on dry tarmac. So then it catches grip again, and then it will put the car straight and you will go. But make sure you keep the steering wheel where you want to go and not too tight in your hands, otherwise you will be going into the direction the nose is going when you're in a drift, and it catches grip again. So be careful with that.